Merrimack TV content may no longer be available on YouTube. To continue watching our programs, please download the Merrimack TV app from your device's app store. Programs may also be available at merrimacktv.com.
All right, good evening, Merrimack. Welcome to the July 21st, 2025 Merrimack Village District Board of Commissioners meeting. Stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so I'll call the meeting to order at 5:03, and this meeting is offered by webinar. You can get the link to the webinar on MVD's agenda for the meeting, and that's on mvdwater.org is the website. And there's a webinar ID number there, and also a phone number if you want to call in. So we have a full commission board here today in the room. And I guess we can just get into the first part of the meeting, which is the Finance and Human Resources Review with Kristen Marr. How you doing, Kristen?
Well, thank you.
Great.
So the questions we have are not finalized, but they are as close to the end of fiscal year 2025. We are still waiting on some audit adjustments, as always. In terms of our revenue for the fiscal years, it is $7.2 million, expenses at $5.6 million, and our net ordinary income, again, not finalized, at $1.6 million. In terms of revenue, nothing really changed from last month. In terms of expenses, nothing really changed from last month. I did move in, as I said, all that was to be assigned to the trust are in the budget, which were purchase of water and GAC replacements. So this does reflect those in the budget. Any questions on any specific account?
Quick question. I seem to recall either last meeting or the month prior, we talked about the audit reports being somewhat slow to come in. And we were not quite sure if that's okay and that we maybe should be looking into changing auditors.
We have changed auditors.
We have.
And they promised me that they should have everything by the beginning of October to me. Okay. Which is significantly earlier than others. So we've already had our prelim.
Okay.
They've been here and have left. They're working on what they have, which is a lot of information. Which is some of the reasons why you'll see some of the things that we've in the rest of the agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Some things that just got brought up. Being as that it's fresh eyes looking at everything.
Good. That's usually a good thing. How many years were we with the prior auditing firm?
Almost 12,
right?
If not more.
Right. So it goes to show you every once in a while we need to shake it up. Yeah. Very good. Cool. Thank you.
Any other questions on anything?
Any of the accounts?
No. Just very notable to me is the chemical consumption is significantly less than half what was budgeted.
And again, we need to prepare for worst case scenario.
Yeah. Did prices go down too, or was it just I know we didn't?
They stayed about the same.
Yeah.
We did not go up last year as much as we thought. With all of the distribution chain issues.
Yeah, right. That's what I thought.
We were expecting a significant increase in price. That didn't really happen.
So we're probably budgeting for that, right?
And then with this year's budget, working with the pumping at max level, potential drought, again, we need to budget for a worst case scenario. But each year that we get under our belt, we now can have a steady rolling, and I can look at true examples of what has happened versus, you know, we have 1 year of example, now 2, now 3. I can now see a trend
Yeah,
and potentially bring that down. a
because
bit.
our treatment plants are pretty new, so we weren't really sure where
Exactly.
we're going on the consumption.
And we came off of treatment plants being down, wells being down, and sporadic kind of
Right,
operating to now we're getting into a little bit more
right,
of a rhythm, and we'll refine our numbers as we go.
right. The other number I see here is on line 70045.3 hydrant enhancements. Had a budget of 29,000. It looked like we didn't expend anything there, so I'm just wondering what is that? What was that in planned for?
So that's
Just want to make sure we're
the
not.
elective of
not
both
doing
mainline
something.
enhancements and hydrant enhancements. It's just that that 29,000 was for both of those accounts. And it's for new main lines and new hydrants with the constructions that are
Oh,
brought
yeah.
into the system.
Yeah, I see that now. I thought it was just for, but I see the budget for mainline enhancements was 0, so that, I guess you were kind of just lumping those together. there.
Correct.
Okay. So,
We didn't add any new hydrants in the system last year.
I thought we did.
Not any brand new hydrants. We replaced a lot of them.
No, if we added one or two,
I think that was the year
Really?
before we did,
there was a request that came in a couple months
yeah,
ago. I swear that was
Sharon Ave?
Yeah.
something, but I swear that was only like 6, 8 months ago. You're saying that was last year?
I think it was the year.
Last fiscal year? Shit,
For sure.
time flies.
Last fiscal year, yes.
Yes.
Crazy. How many hydrants do we have in town? Somebody asked the other day.
I want to say
We're
we're close
almost
to 1,000,
Almost 1,000.
Just past a
just
thousand.
past 1,000.
Okay, for some reason I had 2,500 in my mind. Okay.
is this line item for like, painting and stuff, or is it
It
new?
would be under repair and maintenance, R&M.
All right, so
hydrants,
this is all what, just like new?
brand spanking
I know
new.
if we
Oh, all right,
decide we
okay.
want to put into like like for Sharon Ave, we said, we want to add a hydrant to that neighborhood or to a dead end or something like that.
Right.
Put it in that line.
How much do the hydrants cost, please?
I think somebody has read my Facebook posts.
Yeah.
Somebody has read my Facebook comments.
Not her.
No.
Not
Oh,
big.
that was, I saved our skin once again, unpaid. No, there was, how much is a new hydrant?
At least
I
$2,500.
was just gonna say.
But that's just material.
That's material,
Right.
yes.
That's not labor and that's not backfill. That's just the hydrant itself.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's,
Probably not even the pipe or the tap to off the
gate,
line.
yeah.
and I haven't purchased a hydrant myself, so it's probably right around, we're looking probably just to purchase $2,500.
Right, that's what I saw online. Somebody was fussing about the maintenance fee and I pointed out that it's more than a couple $100 to put a new hydrant in. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. During our maintenance program, if there are hydrants down, we bag them for a short period of time. We're usually ordering parts where we try to get them up as soon as we can but
Yeah. And
Weeks.
right, and I know you when I asked you, you told me, just for the record, you told me that whenever a hydrant is down, you inform the fire department and dispatch, right? So they are aware they need to send a tanker where they normally wouldn't
or just
if there was a fire incident.
More likely that hydrant's more than 600 feet of it, so they know not to go to that hydrant, they go to the next one down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, that's all I had.
Any other questions?
Mhm.
To fund balance, again, not finalized. Our unassigned funds as of the end of fiscal year 2025 is looking to be about $21.3 million, which that makes up 63% of our overall fund balance total. We are, probably in the next few months, you'll start seeing the new projects.
Excuse me.
For
mainline extensions.
the mainline, yes. Areas 4 and 5 and areas 3,
Oh, yeah.
as we start beginning those. Questions on fund balance? Trust activity. Not much has changed from the last month, other than adding in June's interest fees. And starting of the new fiscal year for 2026, many things got moved down that we get to. We'll have a lot of to be determined about. Questions on trust activity? Are your normal QuickBooks accounts? Questions overall?
Any news on the software?
As part of my update, yes.
I can wait. I wasn't sure if that, I thought that's what you were referring to. Sorry, when you said general.
Oh, no, they have it as the next one. So
Yeah, it
building
is.
software update. We are working on what they call the business requirements document. The fourth draft as of today, which should be the final version that I'll be signing off on all the requirements that I'm making sure that I need in the system. And then next comes me and the project manager, if you will be fine tuning the new chart of accounts, which will match the DRA chart. The way that their system, I don't need to spell out every little segment as DRA will, but if I print a report, it show that. So there's certain ways that we can use the system that I don't have to type in 30 different numbers.
Huh.
But it will still print, as I said, for DRA reports. So we're fine tuning what goes where in the new system. And then they're gonna, after that's finalized, they will give me a sandbox to start playing with to get used to the system. They're shooting for financials, potentially payroll, go live date of October 1st, which I'd love it earlier. It all depends on the data. They bring in data using spreadsheets. So how much time I have between normal job audit and that I can get them the data back will be how quickly we can go live. And then once financials and payroll are up, we tackle utility billing. So that probably November, December-ish.
And we're gonna do reconciliation every time we import data to make sure the
Well, yes.
totals match, P&L match, balance sheet matches, funds match.
We'll probably, I mean, for my own sanity, probably do a month in both.
Mhm.
QuickBooks and the new software.
Mhm.
Because utility billing won't be on, it'd be all the journal entries I'd normally be doing anyway. It would be easy.
Good.
So you were just thought of something now. We were just talking about trending things in the past, like chemical consumption costs, whatever. Is all of, or how much old data is going to be brought in to the new system? Is that converting automatically all of the old data, or?
It is not. So most of financial reports, so basically ending balances, will be 2 years worth. Specific AP information will be, I'll still have access to QuickBooks because it's on our server.
Yeah.
So we'll be really starting as of 2026 fiscal year and going forward.
Yeah.
But all that data I have in spreadsheets until we build more and more data into
Okay.
that. I can see those comparisons.
Right. It's good.
So, you brought up the term BRD, business requirements document. Are you being held to that? Because you said you're on 4 drafts and final copy. So my concern
And
there.
it's just phase 1, so they're gonna do one for each phase.
Okay.
So this is just what I want for financials.
Okay. So
And
it's
then they'll do one, and Amy, I'm sure will nitpick every little thing for utility billing.
okay. I just want to make sure they're not like strict on like, hey, these are what I think my requirements are. Then you get in and use the tool like, oh, it'd be nice if I could do this so that they can.
They are absolutely, they are amendable.
Good.
They are amendable,
Okay.
which is why they are giving us the sandbox to play.
Yeah.
Be like, this is how we set it up, based off the BRD, be like, no, that doesn't work. Okay, let's change this.
Okay.
So you can play before.
It's just an old waterfall project term, so it makes me nervous. Like, oh, this is what you asked for.
Mhm.
They have multiple times, this is amendable.
The sandbox and the production system, are they visually very different? Like well, but they should, is usually you can at least change the background color of the
Oh, okay.
because
Yes.
it's very easy to not realize which one you're working in and you're punching data in, and now you think you're in the sandbox, but now you're punching live data.
Yes.
So are they visually?
I can manipulate how each look.
And
So
we will,
yes,
and we will do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes,
That's
because
a
I
good
have
point.
had this on before.
Yeah.
I usually made it bright red.
Yeah, some terrible purple, pink, green,
Yes.
whatever, red,
To
something
remind me
something
of
that
it.
screams at you that you know
I
you're
have
not in
done
the
that in the
system.
past,
Okay, thank you.
yes.
All right, cool.
All right, any other questions on the billing software update?
Mm-mm.
You're sticking around for the next part too, right?
Pretty much most of the meeting.
All right, I was gonna, if there's something you want to leave early, get you out of here, just let me know, but that's fine. All right, so the regular session number 1 on the agenda is Board of Commissioners to conduct annual review and signing of the following 3 things. The first one being the delegation of deposit authority, record keeping, and reconciliation.
So these are the 3 items that you sign annually that allows the board and the treasurer, then
You know, you're left-handed.
in the way that the RSA's policies are written, gives us kind of the authority to do the deposits, to do payroll, to do AP, instead of each of you coming in every single week and signing off on everything.
Yeah. Like the olden days. So my only question is anything different here? I don't think
Nothing
so.
stays other than the date you're signing it.
Right.
I actually have a quick question about the treasurer position. Do we have any succession planning that we talk about? Because I actually have been approached by Lynn a couple of weeks ago about potentially finding a new one.
That's probably not the first time she asked.
No,
either.
I know. Well, there was dispute about that, but at least last time I know she did. So right now
I
she's
talked to her about it.
okay.
She has not come to me. I mean, we can try to start.
Well, and we should get it from her, not from me, right? But I know she has approached me a couple of weeks ago about that because there was somebody in town that was interested. But I'm not sure if that's still the case. I would have to double check that. And I didn't because I wasn't sure if that's what we want to do. So, or what she wants to do. You may want to check with her and
Yep.
get it straight from her and then let us know. Please, thank you.
That's appointed position now, right?
Correct.
All right, so the next one is the authorization delegation of payroll process. I assume that one too is the same wording.
Absolutely.
And the last one, authorization delegation of accounts payable, all that stuff. That's all the same as the last, correct? So I thought on that last one, when we talked about this, when we used to have to approve these, and then we voted not to have to approve these.
The last one is the newer one that you signed 2 months ago,
Right,
but now I wanna get them in line with annual for the rest of them.
Right? I thought we arranged it so that you would still email us to tell us that they're available. And then if we wanted to look at them, we could look at them. And I don't think we've been getting those emails.
Hmm.
So if there's,
Do you remember that?
I do, but when I upload them, you're not notified that there's new
No,
material?
I'm not getting anything. Are you?
Let me look at that.
Yeah.
So you might be able to subscribe on OneView,
Oh, really?
but, or SharePoint, but,
So I get a tickler whenever something gets uploaded?
you could, or the email comes in, whichever you.
All right,
prefer.
well, if I can figure out how to
I'll
do
look
that,
to
that's
see.
all right too, but.
Yeah, I didn't look to see that the function is actually there, but it exists in
Yeah.
SharePoint. I just don't know if it's on.
That's, I apologize. I thought you were getting notified that new material has been
Yeah, that's why
listed.
I figured I'd let you know, because I haven't seen anything.
I've not either. No.
All right, yeah, so either way, I mean, if it's just an easy email, is just send out to all of us and say you just uploaded this if we want to look at it. And like I said, it's not gonna hold you up. It's just whether we look at it, if we have questions, and we can ask,
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, anybody have any questions on that at all? Those three documents that we're moving along signing here? If not, then we can move on to item number 2, which is to review the draft procedures for 3 different things here. The first one is the rules of the Board of Commissioners. These are all new, right?
The first 2 are based off of the preliminary audit. We didn't necessarily have anything in writing for the Board of Commissioner or the treasurer to determine how much you are paid. So the whole point of these is to have that in writing. But I figured that while I'm doing that, a very brief summary of what each position is too.
I would have an objection on one bullet point.
I'm sorry,
I would have an objection on one bullet point here.
okay?
And that is on page 2, and there's no page numbers, but the second page, the second bullet point, no member of the Board of Commissioners shall engage in any text messaging, emailing, use of a cell phone, other mode of electronic communication anytime during the course of a, with the exception of the use of MVD issued laptops, which shall not have wireless capabilities.
That was copied from another.
And that's fine, but I think it's fine to add something here. There should be no disruptive use. But I object to no use at all. For one, I don't carry any laptop at all, and I usually don't have to, but there were instances where I looked up on OneDrive, on the MVD OneDrive documents, for example, on my phone, and I would like to continue to do that. Or, for example, tonight I'm gonna mention on the new business a question from a constituent. I would like to be able to look that up, and I don't want to violate the rules.
Yeah,
So
So how would you like that worded?
I would just strike the bullet just because it also, well, from a legal standpoint, I don't know if that opens up our personal devices if we have them to an RSA if we do use them. So I would just strike it. That's my,
That works for me?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, my only objection is I have kids at home that need to be able to reach me in case of emergency,
Right.
so that would be my only objection.
And I think we all agree that she couldn't be disruptive, but that's what we have a chair for, to call somebody out. So,
Which I will.
I have heard that you're not supposed to have your phone out at a public meeting because then it could be subpoenaed based on whatever you're doing, a right to know because you're in a public meeting and you could be texting about whatever the conversation is. And my comment
Oh,
to
so
the
that
person who
becomes
said that
public
was like spectacular. You can totally subpoena my phone and look at what my kids are asking if they can use the microwave. So that's that.
Yeah. I
Any
had
other
this,
changes?
I had the same concerns. I think we're pretty much almost unanimous on that. The bullet above that where it says votes on bylaws, actions and resolutions shall be by roll call. So roll call is each individual. That's not any typical vote that we take. It's just those specific to bylaws, actions and resolutions. I'm not,
Actions
it's
and
not clear to
resolutions.
me like what.
yeah.
It's like every vote we have to take now by
That's what
roll
it- that's what
call?
it
Is that what
says,
it
yeah.
sounds like?
Yeah.
Cause I don't think that's a law, right?
So
It would have cited an RSA in there if that was the case.
I think that could probably be struck as well.
I
I mean,
was
it's just
thinking the
part of
same
our
thing.
procedures of the way that we take votes and we follow RSA requirements. Would be how you
You
would.
could literally say
policy.
votes will be taken based on New Hampshire RSAs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
You get the how out of there.
maybe even quote the right RSA.
It seemed to me that this was going a little beyond what
Mm-hmm.
we were doing, and I thought
Sure.
what we were doing was in line with the RSAs.
And the person's intention was to throw everything in here.
Yeah.
And let you
As a
review
one
it.
spot.
All right. Were you getting this from a certain source, a guide or something? These
Copy
items?
from another
District, yeah.
district.
It's fine.
Oh, okay.
I thought the only roll calls we take is when we go into non-public meetings, is there supposed to be roll calls, but I don't know that we
Or
always
if
do.
somebody's on video, right?
I thought it was only if someone's on video and it's only the person on video.
Yeah.
Is my understanding.
So, yeah, that's what I thought. That's how
Yeah.
we've been doing it, but going up again, if we're done with that.
Yeah, all right.
So the order of business in each meeting should be as follows. I don't know if that's necessary in a procedure document.
That was from an RSA.
Really?
The actual order. New Hampshire RSA requires it this way.
Really?
Public's roll call for attendance, changes to the agenda, approval minutes. Right, because there's other things in here as well. So how do you fit those in there?
Right.
Yeah. I know we moved the superintendent report around. That's not really listed here. Probably not applicable to everything.
And pretty much any board I'm on, the approval of minutes is one of the last agenda items ever after all the new business. It's certainly not at the beginning of the meeting here, item 6.
Well, and I think we'd at least have to strike roll call for attendance because we don't usually do roll call.
Yeah, we do.
So
Unless
we'll have to
everybody's
find
here.
out.
We would, note if someone's missing, but we don't. Other boards will sit there and say,
It's Dawn has her hand.
do the roll call, and they'll actually call every name.
Go ahead.
And say, and they'll say, here.
Yeah, go ahead, Dawn. Sorry, I didn't notice you.
That's okay. I just want to throw out there, as far as the roll call votes, they are required when someone is participating electronically. They're
Right.
also required by state law that every vote that takes place in non-public session has to be by roll call.
For non-public.
Correct. Any motions that you make in non-public, including the one to come out of non-public, they all have to be by roll call.
Oh.
That's something that even our lawyer has stifled us on.
If that's the case, then probably that should be put in here.
I can put votes, will be
of
followed
Non-public.
courtesy of RSA, and I'll get the correct.
All right, okay.
I mean, this is such a critical part. I would almost suggest running this by legal and giving us the best.
Same thing, once we get this,
I mean, there's nothing more important than the voting regulations for the Board of Commissioners, right? So it would be great to have that clear.
Right. Think, yeah, let's see here. So under meetings, just a little bit above that, the second bullet under meetings says there may also be special meetings that the Board of Commissioners will need to attend. These will be scheduled at the call of the chair. I assume that would be like, you may come to me, one of you, business manager or somebody, and say, hey, I think we need to have a meeting about this. So, but that's fine. I don't think we need to go into that level of detail there. I just wanted to make that clear that I'm not going to all of a sudden out of the blue know enough to call a meeting unless it's prompted probably by someone else that there's a concern,
Right.
But I don't think that needs to be, specified. I just wanted to make that distinction here. Okay, so we're good on that. So that's gonna be edited and probably come back around at the next meeting.
Are we taking out the order for business?
Well, if it's in an RSA, I would just kind of find out where it's
Find out
applicable.
the number, yep.
Yeah, the number, if it's applicable to us, and
Yeah.
check with Carrie or whatever on, like, the way our agenda is set up. And if there is an RSA for it, are we meeting it or is there a problem?
Right. If it does specify the order, then make sure we're following it.
Yeah. And ask where things like superintendent report fits in. Is that old business? Maybe?
Yeah, I don't know where you would just put in like things that are,
It might be old business.
yeah, I don't know.
Or new business.
Well, some of it's new, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's super critical, but yeah, I think
Business, but yeah. Because, yeah, it's nice to have that up front because then that reduces the number of questions we have after, right?
yeah, it's true. That's kind of why we moved it up
Yeah.
front. Yeah.
Efficiency.
Before we move past that, I had one question, just out of curiosity, on the first one here for the treasurer. On the second page of the treasurer's, it's got the monthly payment fee. Treasurer will be paid monthly in the amount of $208.33. And I was just curious, is that how much time is involved in that? For that monthly fee? Like,
Supposed to be in weekly to check payroll.
Well, correct, she's,
all right, so it
Those
requires
weekly-
attendance here in the office to look over things, pretty much?
she's supposed to sign off on the monthly, manifests that include all the bank statements.
Okay. I just wondered what that entailed. I mean, I know the commissioners meet monthly. And I didn't know if there was more time.
She has a packet.
Yeah.
She gets monthly to sign off on.
I just wasn't sure.
She approves payroll weekly. That's not
Okay.
on site, but
Yeah. Because I know these numbers probably haven't changed for a long time,
If not,
nor have the commissioners either. So I just wanted to make sure kind of made sense with the amount of level of effort, I guess. You say something?
Don.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got to look at you, Don, more often. I keep forgetting. Go ahead.
That's okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to throw out there for easy reference, RSA 91A:3, Roman numeral 3 begins with minutes of meetings in non-public session shall be kept in the record of all actions, shall be promptly made available for public inspection, except as provided in this section. Minutes of such sessions shall record all actions in such a manner that the vote of each member is ascertained and recorded. So basically, any action that happens in non-public should be a roll call vote so that the vote of each member is recorded.
Well, we do that. I mean, we always say who abstains and who's in opposition.
Yeah.
can you repeat that RSA for Kristen, please?
It's 91A:3, :3, Roman numeral 3.
Yeah, it's
Got
just,
that, Kristen?
91A.
I don't see a roll call in that.
No, it's not roll call.
Roman numeral
we
3,
just need to know who voted.
Yes,
Roll call's a way to do it, but
and that's for voting.
Well, I think it's
Okay.
clear the other way too, because
It is.
we always list the
Right.
negative.
if it's 5-0-0, then you know all 5 of us voted, so
Right.
therefore it's implied that
If it's
everyone.
4-0-1, we always say who the one abstention is. If it's
Right.
4-1-0, we always say who the negative.
I think we're good there.
3-1-1, we always say the negative and the abstention. So I think
we
we're
can
good.
always ask legal about that, but the legal opinion that I received in the past from the New Hampshire School Boards Association was the way to address this was through roll call votes.
Well, let's see what Kerry says.
What we gotta do.
All right, are we good with that one?
The rules of treasure, I have to, are we on that again?
Yeah, if you want, sure.
So the rules of the treasure has 2 bullet points that I'm not sure if we follow them right now or if I agree with them. So the first indented bullet is maintain custody of all monies, including managing online access for all users. Is our treasurer currently the master account owner that can give online account access
For
to?
bank accounts, yes,
Really?
No.
only.
Really? I'm surprised by that. I'm honestly not sure if I agree with that because, no offense, but we have very little control about what ability a, let's say, private citizen that got appointment to be a treasurer has in terms of, and you know what's coming, cybersecurity. I would, and that's not a sideswipe at all at any treasurer, past or present. I just feel more comfortable that somebody that is part of this organization, that we, control procedures and good online habits and so on, has, for example, you or the superintendent, right, has actually the final authority and the master account ownership of our bank accounts.
She doesn't do that solely though. There has to be two signatures to do, and all she's doing is managing. If I were to leave and a new person came in, she would delete me, in writing, and then add that new person and give them access to this account or this account.
But this has online access, which usually goes that.
Online access for me. She's managing my account. She's saying that yes, you can be a second signer.
Well, is she creating a user or is she signing a form at the bank that you get an access?
Authorizes them to assign me logins.
So she's the second.
Okay. So this is not a matter of her going, I'm sorry, not her, I shouldn't be saying her because it's not about Lynn. It's a position. The treasurer doesn't go into our bank account online portal and creates user access rights for anybody else. It's the bank doing that.
Yeah, you just have to fill out all the forms.
Well, I know
She's the one that has.
I'm not talking about the
manages
second.
it in terms of gives authority for the bank to do what Jill asks.
Well, there's a difference between the bank signature card and bank online accounts. I'm talking about the online accounts.
She's giving me access to go online to the accounts. That's what it's saying. She's managing who is going to be able to go into the accounts. That's me for certain things. That's Kristen for everything.
But is she doing that physically online in an online portal of the bank, or is she going to the bank and approving this with a piece of paper or
With a piece of
form
paper, right? It's
for the bank
online.
to set up for you?
Absolutely, we have to sign cards. I have
Okay.
to sign it.
You said cards. That's what makes me nervous. Again, I want to distinguish between signature cards and granting online access. Those are two different things.
There's a form she has to fill out that then gets sent to the corporate.
For the online account of other users.
Who's
Okay.
underneath her for,
Okay,
to set up an account, to set up the user.
okay. My main thing is I don't want any treasurer to be able to go online on a website of our bank and create a user for somebody else
Right.
without us having some kind of
Because
very, very direct
that could
oversight.
be hacked.
I think you're separating like the signature accounts from the online thing, because that's how it used to be. But I just did it for the library and it's all one. Like I couldn't get access to anything online till I was added to the accounts.
Okay,
And so it's all one.
Basically a two-person request.
They want wet signatures too, so you do
Right.
have to go first.
so that's my question, okay, because I know in the past it was oftentimes a super user, like a master user, master owner of the account online, and that person could create sub accounts. And I'm really, really sketchy about that idea. Okay, okay. I'm gonna take it as it is, but I almost want to like to ask to confirm that. Okay, I'll take it as it is.
RSA.
And the other one is here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullets down. Invest excess funds in accordance with the district investment policy. Isn't that what the trustees of trust funds are doing for us?
This is for, outside of the trust funds. This is our
Okay.
New Hampshire PDIP,
Okay, okay. Thank you.
which have at some point bring that up to dissolve that. There's not much money in it. We don't use it the way you used to,
Mm-hmm.
and the trusts are getting us much more interest.
Hmm.
So I thought for another time.
On an agenda. We'll talk about it. All right. The third one, again, that's the same language on the capital reserve account.
Nope, this is the brand new one
Mhm.
that you had
Oh.
requested.
Mhm.
So this is
Oh,
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
read
That's right.
of
That's right.
how do we come up with the amounts we come up with to transfer into our trust. So this will be read number 1, this procedure.
Does this have to be read into the record?
We have it with others,
Okay.
just that you're reading it for the first time, and second, if there's any changes, third, to vote.
Just a quick question. Do we have a master plan?
We do.
Okay, just checking. How old is it?
Yeah, yeah, so we'll have to fix every 5 years. I'm not sure where we are in that cycle.
I look at the date, I want to say it's every 10 years on the master plan.
10?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like a hazard mitigation and emergency plan.
it's probably due.
Okay. I just was thinking because I saw it in there and I know that the town's master plan is now 13 years old, but it keeps getting pushed. So I just didn't,
I don't think I remember seeing.
I haven't seen it since I've been here.
I think we just did a supplement for it though, not too long ago.
The policy definition, that second sentence, these trusts can only be used for what was voted for on that its intention is, which was determined in a previous Board of Commissioners meeting. Is it really a BOC meeting or is it the annual meeting? Because I think we need to propose capital reserve funds for the annual meeting to be,
The actual trust itself, when you created it.
but I thought, is that something we can do throughout the year? I thought it needs to be done at the annual meeting,
It was voted on, it's voted on at the annual meeting.
right?
When you create a new one?
Yeah.
The trust, yes, the
Okay.
trusts are created.
So I think this would need to be the annual meeting, not the BOC meeting.
We can expend, but not create, right?
We can decide to propose to create it and put it on the warrant.
Yeah.
Right, and define, in a prior meeting, we have determined our intention how to use it.
Yeah.
But really, legally
It's the voters.
Yeah. applicable, it only becomes once it gets voted in. So, I mean, you can argue both is true, but I think it's clearer if we put it at the annual meeting than a BOC meeting.
Just as a heads up too, Kristen's gonna be doing the recording secretary and district clerk procedure as well sometime in the future.
Cool.
The 2 more positions that we're talking about, probably should have something on paper.
Okay. Any other questions on this document?
Wolf,
Or
do
you
you
need a little more time?
Well, just for Wolf, do you see, based on past experience, that this document will help bring the clarity that we were looking for the annual meeting? That was,
I mean, the document itself or the procedure is basically saying we're looking at things and then we're determining things, right? So it's not necessarily putting any dividers or multipliers or, it's not putting anything in numbers, right? Which we agreed to do it that way, right? So I do think it's good enough to be able to say, well, we have a policy. The policy basically says what we base our decision on, but it doesn't quantify.
this is a procedure, not a policy,
Fair enough.
right? So this procedure should probably be a little bit more specific as to how we calculate those numbers then.
Well, it's calculated by our engineers using those 4 items.
Right.
I was suggesting something like that, but it felt like the board was not comfortable with locking themselves down at that point,
Yeah.
right? So hard. So,
So do we want more of a policy rather than a procedure?
and I thought we actually had said it's going to be a policy more than a procedure, but
Right, there's a policy definition in here. The procedure's in it.
It's a template, so.
Yeah. So this is kind of both, right? Policy and a procedure.
We can move to be a policy.
If we keep it as high, high level,
which it
then
is.
it's fine. But I would just want to make sure that from a,
I would agree. It really is more a policy level documentation, right? It says this is what we intend to do, this is what we base our decision on, but it doesn't say take
This percent.
10% of the continuous improvement plan or master plan and put it, and if the funds are available, transfer it, right? It doesn't say that.
It kind of defines the 4 items
Right.
that you use to determine
Gauge.
not only the future of MVD, but
Right.
how much is going into trust.
Yeah, I would probably agree. It really should be a policy more than a procedure.
Well, it's both, right? But it's a procedure to fund capital reserve accounts underneath there.
Yeah. But again, I think it's good enough for me to say, we're not pulling the number wildly out of our sleeve, right? But it's also open enough that we don't lock ourselves into a procedure that we're not comfortable doing. So I'm okay with that. Thank you.
All right, so we're in agreement on that. This is
These 3 will return next
Right.
meeting with adjustments.
right, because I think there was some modifications on all of them, correct?
Correct.
All right. Okay. We're good with that. We can move on to number 3, superintendent report.
Maintenance, the treatment facilities, the well 7 and 8 water treatment plant, the lead vessel is scheduled to be changed out August 12th. Distribution, we've had a couple of leaks, nothing major. And we're also finishing up on backflow testing and continuing with hydrant maintenance. PFAS water main extensions, MVD, the Gerard Mulliken PFAS water main extension project, construction is scheduled to start around August 18th. A neighborhood informational meeting is planned for Wednesday, 7/23 at 6:30 p.m. at the town council, town hall meeting room. Notice was hand delivered to all residents in the project area on the 15th. And 2 message boards were deployed today to notify residents of the upcoming meeting. MVD Underwood, Steve Bernice, who's the contractor, and then New Hampshire DES will be in attendance.
When is that meeting again, please?
When is the meeting?
Wednesday.
When, the 23rd,
This week?
this week, Wednesday.
And where is that?
Town hall.
Town hall.
Oh, okay.
Now, excuse me, is this for just the Mulliken Gerard Drive? It's not Farmer and Mason Road?
No.
That's a separate contract. That's gonna be a separate meeting.
Contract. So that'll be, as that gets closer, we'll have a separate
Okay,
meeting for that one as well.
All right.
And what time is it? I'm sorry.
6:30.
6:30. Thank you. Is that also where we're gonna, I'm sorry, I should know that. Is that where we go into Wilson Hill?
Yes. It's gonna go.
Okay.
We're gonna go down Wilson Hill to Mulliken.
Right. That's over there, right? So I had a question that came up
It's
today.
in McQueston. From McQueston right down Wilson Hill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. I had a question that came up. Is there gonna be any complete road, blockage or shutdown of the road required? Is it gonna be single lane or?
Single lane, he's
Partially off the road.
it's gonna be one off to one side, but he's assured us he operates, that he keeps the lane open, and he has road plates, that kind of stuff right there. So if there's any kind of emergency, he'll shuffle things around and he will keep the road open at all times.
Okay, but there's not gonna be any stoplights or anything. If anything, there's gonna be flaggers or?
Flaggers, we'll have details on the roads that are required. But you have flaggers and the plan is to do Wilson Hill and Mulliken first, and then shift over to Paul Mary and Gerard after that.
Okay. All right, Steve Larson, this one was for you.
But the 23rd, we're having the meeting, that informational meeting, again. Steve Bernice will be there, Underwood, obviously we're gonna be there. New Hampshire DES is gonna be in attendance as well. And we're gonna go over construction plans, dates, well sampling in the rebate program as well. So try to get people that they haven't tested and hopefully get them.
Because if they haven't tested their well, then they can't get the rebate.
Correct.
Right.
So if they haven't tested, get them tested, hopefully they can get qualified and get it on the rebate program. So.
Is Merrimack TV gonna tape it?
No, not that I'm aware of. No.
I've asked them to.
Like as we pass the door knockers, we actually have signs out today, making people aware. So.
Thank you.
Would have been, that's a good idea if we could have had it take, it's too short notice now, but and it is kind of limited to certain area, but not townwide, but.
Right. I didn't know if it would.
Yeah, where it's contractors meeting, it's not, yeah.
Yeah.
So every 2 weeks we'll get an update. We'll start now, we'll get a 2-week update, and then every week I'll update, so we always have a 2-week schedule ahead of us. Depending on how long it takes, which 75 days is a long time.
You said that's starting like right now?
Yeah, 18th, August 18th, we're gonna start that.
Oh, I thought you were referring to July. I was like, so it's already going.
No, it's gonna start.
Yeah,
August.
August,
It's
okay,
moving
yeah.
quick. Now that it's happening,
Yeah.
it's gonna be starting quick. And, so it was just
All right.
trying to get things moving quick.
Good, yeah.
Trying to get the neighborhood meeting going and,
Yeah.
and all of that.
It seemed out of order. That's why I was asking.
No.
I thought you said the 18th. I thought you were referring like it already started on Friday in July. But
So rather than mail out the invite for the public meeting, we can handle the stuff,
oh, yeah,
the door knockers and stuff like that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
try to
Good.
get it moving that way. The Farmer Mason Road PFAS water main extension project bid opening was 15th. We had 9 bidders.
Wow.
The apparent winner at this point, they still got to finalize everything, was Cardillo and Sons. Total base bid was what was awarded on was $1,273,502.40. So.
And where does that stand with the budgeted amount?
They asked,
$632,000 under budget.
they estimated at 1.6.
So we can do, that didn't count the add-on.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's affordable.
Oh, wow.
Spectacular.
So that's really good.
So how,
Is that one also, sorry, is that one also going this year?
And I talked to Keith today as well, and he's interested in doing it this year as well. So
Spectacular.
which one is that?
that's the Farmer
Farmer Mason.
And-
The other
Right, and
half.
that's one of those that we got a grant for, right?
Yes.
So do we have to like prorate or
Whatever money we use, the rest, if we don't use the entire grant, then we just don't use it.
Well, we had our own portion too. The grant wasn't paying everything, right?
I think it was.
No, it's all 100%.
I was.
We got another grant to cover the excess, like, remember we were
Yeah,
short.
I know,
Yeah.
but I thought we still had some of our own costs. No, okay,
Lynn's grant.
okay, perfect. So we saved everybody money. Okay, nice.
And on the other contract, back to the first one you were talking about, Gerard and Mulligan, that number came in under budget on that one as well as
It did.
the bid came in under the budget. All right, good. So hopefully if there's no surprises, we're not gonna have to put extra funds into the construction.
It came under, I did not write the totals down on that one, so I don't have. that.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. I just
Yeah.
wanted to confirm that I'm remembering it correctly.
It did come in lower as
Yeah,
well, so
yeah.
that, which it was enabled us to allow Underwood to pick up the engineering contract on it. They're gonna construction engineering. on it.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna try to do it ourselves.
Oh, yeah,
Let them handle
yeah,
construction engineering on it now.
great,
More so, which is fine, and we'll kind of
agreed.
But continuing on, we're gonna have the intern tours again this year. We've been working with, I've been working with Leo, set those up, and we're looking at August 12th for that. my thought was the same day as the 7 and 8 change out, give them kind of something to look at.
This is the DPW intern.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
There's something kind of chuck that's different.
Oh,
Different ones. So it'd be a good group, and it'd be interesting to have actually see the change out being done. Something to look at, I guess.
so I have to give you credit because I think I just looked at the list with the date that the change out was supposed to happen, the 8-month thing. And I think it's right on, like,
It's
right
through
on.
the day. I asked.
That's pretty good.
11th as a Monday, and we'll do the 12th, and I actually just emailed him last week or something. It was the 12th and 13th, and he came back with the 12th.
It's awesome, right on the mark. So I think that says a lot about your coordinating with this company and their flexibility.
They have been, I can't say
Yeah.
that about it. They have been very good.
Yeah, that was a great find.
They've been, I really hope we can continue working with them. They've been just excellent to work with.
Right.
Couldn't really have.
Good to hear. All right, carry on.
Energy evaluation, my New Hampshire DES, I just signed up for an energy audit, or I've been asked if I'm interested in doing one. I said yes, so I just gotta pick some dates and
No charge.
no charge, free.
So that's at our pump stations and
Yes.
like all our facilities?
I gotta find out a
or-
little bit more information, but sounds it's our pump stations and stuff.
Oh.
Treatment plants, so. It
So
was-
that could have a big bang if there's something that we can improve.
New Hampshire DOT salt letter.
Oh, yeah.
So I know you and Aaron were present at the town council meeting.
Yeah, Dan went too.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 of us.
Jill's been trying to get on the school board meeting for the 4th, August 4th. We haven't heard anything at this point.
Bob Kelly stopped in and chatted about it and said if he didn't hear anything back, to give him a shout and go to see if he can push on his end. So that email went out today.
I know Paul is trying, he's planning on doing it with myself and
So you sent an email out last week, right, to the school board asking to be on?
It was right after you.
Yeah, it was like the next day, I think.
Yeah.
Haven't heard anything back?
No, but I know that there was discussion within
Okay,
departments over there. So
they're not,
I haven't heard back, but I know that Paul's talked to Matt Chavanel.
okay,
There's discussion going on about backing us
all right,
with the school board.
right. It's good to know. You guys are aware of that too. I think it was copied on an email or something. Okay.
and then Paul did send a follow-up to the BOC meeting on the 10th, that the low salt signs on the state portion of Continental, to their record, show that New Hampshire DOT had those installed back in 2008 for a pilot project for the low salt.
And I thought that's something you said too.
Yeah.
That's,
And something else I wanted to mention that I kind of I think it was John Cochran had mentioned that it was, I misheard on the tape that they're not supposed to be salting out there, that when you mentioned that I saw them salting and pushing it off, that they're only supposed to be salting at the beginning and the end.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
not what they promised. If that's the case, then we don't need them to sign a letter at all, because that's what we're looking for.
Well, they also said that if you're seeing that, why haven't you called? So I was wondering if, we should find a lovely, anytime there is precipitation falling, we should make sure we have somebody sitting at a window out here monitoring and getting ready to call and send emails.
Well, we're having security cameras installed shortly. So
Spectacular.
turn that one towards the street.
I mean,
Spectacular.
quite frankly, that's what we're asking them to do, and we don't need the letter signed then, if that's what they're saying they're supposed to be doing, we don't need the letter signed. They went from initial, I guess, promise they made to use less salt was, I guess they adjusted the door in their trucks to use, if they were applying 200 pounds per lane mile,
Right.
they went to 100 pounds per lane mile. They never changed their practice of salting
At the beginning.
every pass they make.
Oh,
They've been doing this from the get-go.
so that so many pounds per lane mile,
Was my understanding.
but let me ask you this, is that only for when a salt truck is driving down the road salting? Or is it for the whole storm? Because it doesn't make sense. They could limit their salt application as they're putting it down and go twice as many passes and still put the same amount of salt down.
That's my understanding is,
They said they only salted at the beginning and the end of the storm.
and if that's the
Yeah.
case, then we don't need them to sign a letter. We shouldn't have to get the school board
I
to
think
sign a
they
letter.
said they're going to only salt at the beginning and end. I don't think they said they're doing that now. I'd have to go back and look at the video, but
That's kind of what I heard, but I might have misheard
Yeah,
it. But
because I thought I remember him saying when we do this, we're only gonna be salting at the beginning and end, and you're gonna see more snowpack
high
in the
pack,
between or something.
then I misheard what he
Yeah,
was-
it might
was
be
saying.
that.
The whole thing was very confusing because they were talking like this was something they were gonna do, and then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, but we're not doing anything till the school board signs the letter, and I was like,
Right.
All right, so how about if I
But they-
put the
they-
minutes on the website and send them to all of you guys? So you can read through what they were saying.
On the town website?
Yeah, they post their minutes, so we can kind of.
Yeah.
yeah.
Said the plowing contractors will not salt. Only NHDOT trucks will salt
Going forward, right?
going forward.
No, they were talking about plowing contractors, like if they have to have a plowing contractor out there, they will not salt, only DOT trucks would salt.
And originally, they were only supposed to have DOT trucks plowing that road.
Right, which I thought was weird that they were now talking about contractors plowing. And they also talked about having the trucks that have all the electronic equipment for the certain amount of salt, and they stop at the light and the salt will stop. But then they also said, but if the trucks are too old, they don't have that.
Yeah.
So it seemed very unclear. There were no promises made. There was just a lot of, if this, then this, if this, then this.
They have definitely gotten better. They've definitely gotten better, but they certainly plow, every time they're out plowing, they're dumping salt. And they're doing it 3 trucks wide. The first truck, and they're, they do it
Staggered. Yeah.
Staggered. They're each dumping salt.
They're overlapping and this,
Overlapping
the
and
one
the plowing
behind's
is-
plowing it. Yeah.
Every pass.
And I mentioned that. And he didn't deny it. He only said if we were aware of it, we could do something about it, which
Said what
it's like,
no one's ever called us
Okay.
and complained. That's what he said. So then I thought, spectacular. That might be a position for this winter.
right. And I did mention the effects in our wells haven't been seen to have any significant improvement, and I think we spiked like some of the highest numbers this year. So, because that was a question, has anything been, that's what we're looking for. And we haven't been able to measure any success yet with any of this, unfortunately.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, let's hope that we can get on that agenda for that date, because they only meet monthly, correct? The school board, or is it bi-weekly?
During the summer in July and August, they only meet once a month.
Once a month.
Then they go back to twice a month in September.
Oh, okay.
So if it's not the 4th, then we're in September, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So I have a question for it.
yeah, because the state's gonna take time, if they agree to sign the letter of the school board, then that, I don't know how long that takes, and the state's gonna take time. And there was a comment made at the town council meeting that, well, at least we're early on in this, and I said, it doesn't always work out that way. The time goes right like this,
Right.
So related to, I don't know if you have anything on the, I think we were trying to schedule a salt mitigation meeting or whatever with the committee.
Deliverables coming up, and
Yeah.
we're still working on final. Once those are done, then we're gonna.
Oh, that's right. He's got a report on like, I was gonna ask him that too, like all of the reporting of how much salt is being used by the town and the DOT. Are they giving that information?
Yes.
Okay,
That's
right.
what we were waiting for, salt loading.
All right, good.
So that's what Dan's working on, so we'll schedule after that.
and we just don't see that. That's why I'm asking, because if I don't see something, I don't know. And that's fine. I just want to make sure it's happening.
I do want to mention as well, Steve Landry also offered to attend that SALT meeting.
Oh, great.
With the school board as well.
Oh, great. All right. Good.
We'll have plenty of support.
Because he can talk about,
He's
you
talking about
know,
Green Snow Pro, he's.
in the,
he's got a lot of
liability,
people that'll come
yeah.
through. Yeah, it's.
right. Okay. All right, awesome.
Just one last thing, camera installation to begin September 2nd. Several weeks to completion,
And that's for which locations?
all of them.
Like all wells,
All of our wells.
all treatment plants,
Warehouse offices.
warehouse, offices. So we're really cracking down on staff now. When you,
Oh, yeah.
Good.
And I did talk to
CISA.
no, I did talk to I'm sorry. Camera guy,
One source.
One source.
thank you. I lost my train of thought who are one source, and I asked about the cameras. And he said that they were not
Oh. Hackable.
nice.
kind of a
Find a new security person.
yeah. I was trying to think how to it was a yes and no kind of a answer, but it was kind of a no in a sense. I guess it's all in how we
I forget what the question was.
yeah,
Do we have a
Remote accessible or?
I guess if it was hackable in a sense, but if it's
Well, encrypted? Is that the question maybe?
I guess it's all in how they're set up, more or less, and how we view them.
We can get a better response from him.
So and
Not if we don't know the question.
and I asked them that way if they were hackable, and I guess they can be, but they are. There's a switch in there you can say you can shut off. I guess I don't know a lot about the cameras, but and it more so it was on how they were set up and how in other words, if I view them through an app, then if I guess it's only secure is how I were to view them.
Gotcha. Got it.
There may be a future discussion with Block 5 as well. So
I mean, the concern would be is if they can get into our network through the cameras. Right. I don't, if they go in there and move the camera around and say, oh, look, you know,
They should be on their own network. They shouldn't be on the work
that's what
network.
I'm saying. It's
And
not
Should
a
be
problem.
segregated.
they won't be,
Right.
but
So are we like preserving video for a certain back time for the last, week or two or whatever like
there
that
will be
somewhere?
storage on them.
That's all completely separated from
Yes.
the rest of our servers?
We're not gonna store them on, nothing
Yeah.
will be stored on the server. It'll be completely separate from that network. It'll be,
Okay.
Everything will go through Block 5 too.
Yeah.
Individual DVRs or something.
And is it continuous recording or is it event triggered control recording?
They're gonna be triggered, so it's not gonna be continuous.
Okay, and who determines like what the triggers are?
On motion, I believe.
So, okay.
I don't really know much about them, but
Usually the motion you'll get, it has to continuously record to know to trigger to actually save the file. So you record a certain period prior to the motion event. So it picks up what happened, what triggered the motion, and then it'll continue for however long you set it.
But it usually forgets everything like 10, 15 seconds prior to the trigger if there is no trigger. So it's a continuous feed to the server, but the server doesn't record it until the trigger makes it actually go back and remember the last 30 seconds as well. So otherwise you're just, crowding your servers, but
Yeah.
it would be interesting for certain locations. Not all the cameras trigger well, right? And the other thing is we don't want to have everybody in the field triggering our cameras and clogging the service either. So usually there's some recognition happening. Is it a person, is it a vehicle, or is it an animal, and so on. Will be interesting. I mean, it really doesn't matter to the board in the end, I guess, but
I would just say it goes back to, was it CISA that offered a physical security evaluation and see what the best practices are for this type of infrastructure and go with that.
I'd be more concerned about being able to breach into it from the outside and watching, operations and, shift schedules and so on to determine when is the best time to break in and do nefarious stuff, right? Stuff like that. So how protected is it from being breached from the outside?
Yeah, and was kind of what my question was, and it was, it wouldn't be able to, I guess, it would, if it was, I guess, if I view it like a Google Nest or something like that, if it was something that I had an app to, then might be something you can get in through an app. But if it's like our well 6 and there's no app, it's just a recorder, then there's really no way to, if you got to go there.
It's not attached to anything.
It's not attached to anything, you just go there to view. So that's the remote station. If we notice there's anything wrong, then you go, when you're there, Steve is there twice a week because of measuring well depths. Then see something that's out of place or something's wrong, then we can go in and view and go back on the video. So something like that I don't see, there's really no way to get into it, I guess. But there'll be other conversations.
Do that in a non-public.
Yeah. Very good. Cool.
All right.
I'm gonna interject.
Yeah.
For a moment, because I am actually going to leave. This is the original for your non-public. If anything changes,
Okay.
if you could write the vote, that'd be great.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
And have a good day.
You too.
Thanks, Kristen. So we good on superintendent
That's
report?
all I have, yes.
Okay. No questions for Ron. We can move on. What are we at now? Number 4, the change order number 2 for Mitchell Woods, additional sampling. We've got a revised proposal, I believe, from Emery and Garrett. Can I see that too? Look at it with you. Yeah, so sampling and analysis of water quality samples of surface water from our 4 locations at the Mitchell Woods Conservation Property. And I think that's all the same pricing as the previous.
That was the same, right?
Yeah, because I got the old one here.
I think there was change the wording on the description from that one,
Right,
so that it would reflect something more general.
right, which is what we asked for before the last meeting. All right, so I guess we're just looking for approval on that one.
I guess so.
Motion and second by anybody? And where would the funds come out of that one? Is it on there? Probably not. No, huh? Yeah, I'm just making that note because I think we typically say where it's what fund that the funding is coming from.
Out of general
Engineering.
Quick question on this. So this is to determine the quality of water, right? Okay, so we know what to do going forward. It's nothing to do with the permitting process or anything, right?
No.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Do we have a second?
No, I'll make a motion to approve change order
Oh,
number
I thought we
2
had a motion, sorry.
from Emery and Garrett dated June 18th, 2025.
Second.
And those funds coming from general engineering funds in the budget?
Mhm.
All right, so that was motion by Aaron, second by Wolf.
Yep.
Any questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Aye, that's 500, no oppositions, no abstentions. So we can move on to discussion on the solar panel options. Number 5 on the agenda.
I don't know if you've had a chance to review this. I put together the notes based on the presentation and some information sent from provider and also from Doug Langdon from Access. So the biggest thing is that we're on premise. We have a 20-year contract with them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Unless they wanted to get out of it, they could ask us if they could get out of it, and we then yes. So on premise is a 20-year commitment, and as you see, starts out with the graduated lease payments for all 3 sites. We don't know if all 3 sites are viable. But for 20 years, if it's for the first year, it would be $100,000, and then it goes up by $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 to $2,000. So
this is what we're paying them?
no, this is what
No.
they're paying
Paying
us.
us.
All right.
This is what they're paying us, but it doesn't generate any power for the MVD buildings.
Yeah.
It's something that goes into the system, and they're buying it from us. Off premise,
So, sorry.
Yep.
The on-premise lease payments, the years that it goes up, the 1,500, 16, that's annually or is that monthly?
annually.
That's it? Doesn't really fit with a,
This was the first presentation we had, right?
so,
I think so.
Because this was like roofs and stuff.
Here's our January G.
There was
Malcolm Bliss, the he's the one who came and talked about.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's probably standard, but that amount of increase doesn't really seem to fit with me as far as, if you were renting out property, how much you would increase, rent on an annual or, even in a multi-year basis.
Yeah.
It's kind of low from a
Too
percentage,
small.
right?
Wasn't this on site? This was for commercial. This is if they came in and
They were looking at roofs, weren't they?
So on site, they were looking at these 3 properties. This property,
Which is where, a maintenance facility or?
yeah, maintenance facility, and then here, they had it here,
Really?
this property, well 3 area, and then over by well 2.
And this
So-
one, I feel like we didn't like that much also because it was going to be on roofs and stuff, and we didn't really like the idea of people messing with our buildings.
It wouldn't be on the roof, so these
they
would be
looked at
ground
land.
features.
Oh.
Ground features, okay.
Which if they were, it'd have to be all 3 sites, like I said, that one, and that one, they would have to put the solar panels on in order to generate this revenue, which means over at 3, we'd have to clear cut trees for an area, which isn't a popular thing
Yeah.
for solar power. So yeah, this is the yearly payments. So then the group net metering one would start as early as 2026. It provides credits towards our Eversource bill, or we could get a check from the solar fund. Either way, we could choose just to do that portion by contracting with an off-site solar farm. But you'd only want to contract, so we would use 1.9 million kilowatt hours, I believe that is. But you'd only contract with them for 75 to 80% because that would take the bulk of our energy and it would be forced into this contract for 20 years. We couldn't do anything with this. We couldn't get better deals or anything. So you keep a portion of that out so you also don't go over.
So are they installing solar panels with this option as well?
No.
No, because it's a farm.
This is when there's like these group farms that everybody
Yeah.
kind of says they participate in and they get to claim all the credits and they pay you for that.
So there's really nothing except us signing up for this.
Right.
No impact to our,
Locked into something. I remember asking the question.
20 years. And if you look at, so both on and off premise, if we were combined lease and the group, gross net metering payment broken down over a 20-year commitment is an average of $136.80 per year or $11,405 per month. So
And-
that's overall what we would be looking at for a benefit.
And what's our monthly electric bill right now?
I don't know.
Here somewhere, right?
It's a lot more than
Yeah, that's,
so, but it's for
probably
$11,405.
divide by
Per
12
month.
months. Somewhere.
It's saying, so for $11,405 a month, we would be locked into a 20-year contract.
Which means we couldn't use any of that land for polishing vessels, right? For generators, for,
So
I don't
three areas,
think-
we decide that we're not gonna cut down trees, that lessens this.
Yeah.
It's now only 2 areas.
I don't think any of those are where we have treatment plants.
Warehouse is one section, and 2 and 9 is the other one.
2 and 9. Well, 3 I thought might have been the.
9 would be then. So does this mean we can't, don't we like negotiate right now for our electric rates?
We have Access Energy, that is our electricity
Do
contractor,
you not be able to do that anymore?
right? Now for that 75-80% of the commitment to this. So with Access, he goes out and finds us the best deals with the suppliers. And then his input is down below.
I was really skeptical about this from the get-go, and I still am. I really am not a fan of that at all for the reasons you just stated. I think it ties us into something for 20 years that we can't really predict what we may or may not need that space for. I don't like that we're getting locked in, even if it's just partial, as far as our electricity rate goes. I would have been supportive of installing our own array and taking advantage of solar itself and feeding the rest into the system. But as we learned the hard way, not the hard way, but as we learned is that doesn't buy us much because there's no tax advantage as a
Right.
public entity like that, right? So aside from the environmental thought and benefits, it's not helping us financially at all, right? So, and we're not in the business of spending taxpayer money to get environmental benefits on that level, right? So I don't see it at all. I still don't.
And we'd be cutting down trees and stuff. That's-
Yeah, and you're right.
Right.
And 2, you'd be tying up all your available space.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I like solar for the right purpose, but I don't think this is the right purpose.
I think maybe in a few years, if, something changes and then we could take advantage of some sort of thing to put our own array up, at a less of a cost kind of thing, then I may be interested in looking at it again, but buying it's just not.
And again, I want to say this for the record, I'm all for protecting the environment, I'm all for solar, but it just seems this application, this use case is not a good one. To me.
Okay.
All right, so that goes in the back burner.
Do we need a motion for anything, or are we?
I think so.
are there more options?
No, those are the 2 that we had with Kearsarge. Our best bet right now, in my opinion, just because that's the short version of what we went into looking up. Access will take care of us. We contract with them. I think we pay them $1,500 a year. We can do everything.
As far as finding rates and things?
Yep.
Yeah.
They'll switch us around to other vendors and get us going through Constellation. We're now have a user at 2 and 9. He took care of that, just authorizations.
So I mean, I'm like, is there an approach to phase in MVD into solar, buying our own, putting it, in our own spot, that type of thing, like create covered parking or something and just kind of phase that in as we go. Like, have you looked at that type of approach, and does that become beneficial at all?
Electricity.
Again, it'd be going through like the same programs, even though, so now we're just moving it to the roof of, you know, an enclosure. Can we generate some of our own power? Yeah, we're putting it back into the system, but now we've got, you know, solar panels on the roof that we have to maintain.
Mhm.
As opposed to
Yeah.
like a Kearsarge, where they're committed to maintain.
But we're talking about, so budget, and this is a whole year budget in this printout that Kristen provided us, right? So it's the heck, I'm just looking at it.
350.
$347,000 in last fiscal year. So just to see what we're spending right now.
That was the total electricity?
Oh, yeah, I think
So
so.
this is like a third of it. These options.
Yeah, I guess it would be,
Ballpark, yeah.
which is, you know,
That's
pretty significant. I guess the unknowns, I guess, is what.
Yeah, there's a lot of risk over 20 years.
And like the
Yeah.
on-premise one, like if even best case scenario, we got like $100,000 a year. In 20 years, our electricity isn't going to be $350,000 a year. We're still only going to be getting $100,000 a year.
Correct.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know, it'll go up by $2,000, but we're still only going to get $100,000 a year, and we're not going to be looking at a $350,000 electrical bill.
Realistically, this should be tied to some kind of cost index, yeah,
Right.
and not fixed today. So right there's
It's a good point. Yeah. It might help now, but in the future, it's gonna be.
Well, that's usually the idea of going solar, right? I mean, if it's not just for the environmental, it's to become, just forgot the word, but independent of the grid, right? Or the energy costs. So you reduce that impact. So if you can't do that, then
Yeah.
why?
Yeah. Well, I think John Lyons asked this a couple of years ago, so if we kind of beat this one pretty hard. And I appreciate you looking into that over all these years and months and things. But I don't know, I guess if it doesn't really seem to make sense now, and it's gonna be constraining us perhaps. Yeah, and definitely so that's why they're only offering 100,000, and then after 20 years, it only goes up to 102,000 a year, right?
Well, no, it'll increment more than that, but it's still not enough probably to go up with the cost of
20
electricity.
years, it's you added all those together at the
Yeah,
end of
you've got
20 years.
1,500, yes, you gotta add up all those numbers,
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, okay. Yeah,
but it's still
still not,
under 120 probably.
yeah. Well,
But we're gonna have we participate in that energy audit. Maybe there's ways we can
yeah,
cut back.
Well, I mean, you're looking at basically a 1% increase per year ballpark, right? That's what they're offering here. And we all know energy cost was not going up 1% a year over the last
ever.
So, I mean, that basically means they're projecting their real wins to come down the line, not today, right? So, because they're just not sharing the cake.
Mhm.
So,
They're taking the big,
I mean,
yeah,
no. And we're gonna lock ourselves in for 20 years, right? So, and the environment, like I said, we're taking trees down left and right. We're locking down our land.
and that would be at our
Can
cost, I
use it.
assume, right? Taking all the trees down and getting the site prep and all that.
I don't know, probably shouldn't be.
No.
I don't know.
No.
I would expect not to, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if there's any more discussion or not on this, but if not, we can maybe remove this from the action items when it comes to it. When we get there.
I think it would be, again, interesting if we were to own those panels ourselves and produce our own electricity, and whatever excess electricity we produce, we get paid for, right? So we have better control over the whole process, right?
That's where I was getting at.
Right, I think that would be more our thing. The problem with that is traditionally that usually only paid off if you got the the tax credit for it, which we aren't. The question is, how do these numbers pan out today? I'm not even sure if individuals, private citizens still get the tax credit today, or if that went away.
I heard something on the radio that it's ending soon.
Right. So you almost have to look at the numbers now. You know, is everybody stopping doing it because it's no
Right.
longer subsidized, or does it still make sense? And I don't
That
know
would
the answer
explain,
to
I've
that.
seen like 3 roofs of solar panels go up in like the last few weeks. So that would explain why the credit is going away soon. People are, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever, not that I want to keep throwing more of your efforts behind it, but I don't think we've ever actually had those numbers in front of us. I think we had opinions from the very first provider, right? Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I think something like that. We had somebody come in that basically presented us the two options, you know, net metering versus our own installation, and said flat out, for you guys, because you're a public entity, it doesn't make any sense to go with the self-owned model because you never get the tax credit. And I think we left it at that. We never even looked at the numbers. I'm not even sure we got numbers.
So we never looked at what we could be saving by producing some of our own energy.
With our own
with our own panels installed.
We
So
did try to get a quote, we never got the quote for it.
Cool. Okay, cool.
Well, we did have a couple, we never did get the quotes, though.
that could be the one exercise to run one more time to see if we can get through it.
If you had a 15-acre field that you knew you were never gonna use.
Right.
That's one thing, but.
It's true. Do we want to look at that on your board?
She's still smiling though. We don't put enough work on her.
Yeah, right.
I'm fine with tabling it for a year and see what happens in a year when the tax credits run out and new numbers are out in the market.
And might change the cost of solar panels quite drastically.
It's true too. They'll probably level out.
Yeah.
Want to look at it in a year?
Sure.
Let it go.
Well, all right.
We can summer vacation for a year.
Or we can close that one and create a new one.
I was gonna say either that or just put like another 10 months out before we have to look at this again on the action items.
Yeah, works for me.
We'll figure that out when we get to it there. All right, so where are we now? Number 6, minutes for June 16th. Regular and non-meeting, non-public.
So on page 11, highlighted it, Ron, I still can't figure out what that was supposed to
Oh, I
be
did.
saying, and Ron took a look at it too.
We can figure it out between.
Yeah, I think that was me talking, so. If you guys don't understand English by now, it's your fault, not mine.
What line were we,
It's highlighted, it's for page 11.
Page 11.
line 2 and 3.
I actually, I have some for 10, I think, too, but every time we have filtration media saturated, we are losing money. So forget the right? Line 2 should be money. We are losing money. Right. Forget the right. We are losing money. But we take the risk and let it lead through for a while, which we have kind of committed to try to avoid, even if unregulated short chains have a much higher tolerance in the advisory levels. Not chained, but chains.
It was English.
Yeah, like I said, that's your fault. I'm mine. And after 7 years, you should know. You should know how to
It makes
speak.
sense in
How to
7
speak
minutes.
the unofficial language of the United States. Anyway, just kidding. There was one more on page 10. Oh yeah. So page 10, line 42. Let's see if I can get that done without an accent. We no longer meet monthly. I want to be clear. We no longer meet monthly with our engineers. So I think this should be, because we as a board, we still meet monthly, right? So I'm not sure if I said that right, but certainly what I meant was we no longer meet monthly with our engineers. So line 43 should be added monthly with our engineers. Thank you.
Any other corrections from anyone?
Nope, not for me.
All right, seeing none, I guess we can entertain a motion to approve as amended.
Both or,
Well, I think we gotta do them separate since we're amending
Yeah.
this one, right?
okay. So which one are we voting on?
The 6:16 regular session minutes amended, as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Wolf, second by Scott. Any other questions? None? All those in favor of accepting the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that's unanimous, 500, no oppositions, no abstentions. In the non-public minutes. Next. Anybody has any anything about that? See them, are they? Huh? Do we have non-public?
They're at the beginning.
Yep.
Yep.
Non-public at the top.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the non-public meeting minutes from June 16th, 2025 as presented.
All right, motion by Wolf,
Second?
second by Dan. No other questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, that's unanimous, 500, no oppositions, no abstentions. Moving on to number 7, which is the action items. The ones that are for July. Let's see, yeah, the first one on there, I think, there was the, summary table in the, back of the packet. I don't know if anybody has any questions on that. Not, well, now is that quarterly, right? So, all right, so July, so now we're into, what's that, October? September, October. Yeah, so, Dawn, if you want to change action item number 2, the last column to October. The next one we're looking at is number 43, is monthly salt mitigation committee meeting. I think we said we're looking to schedule that with after Underwood, I'm sorry, Emery and Garrett has a report released on the salt consumption or something. Do you know if what the schedule is for Emery and Garrett on that one? Number 43? You said we're waiting for,
Yeah, so then we're waiting for the salt load report, which is being
Yeah.
reviewed by DES right now. Then there'll be a steering committee meeting that will present to the whole, the rest of the members.
okay. So that's probably gonna happen after the August school board meeting too, right? If we can get on the August agenda. So that would be something
Yeah,
we
we
can,
should probably still keep it on there for monthly, just so.
okay. So the next one on there is monthly would be number 79, which Ron covered in his superintendent report. Number 88, pilot testing. I don't know that we have any update on that. That's still ongoing, correct? Number 90, solar power options. Do you guys want to retire that one or just push that off for a while? What do you think? Take it off.
Comes the same.
I'd say take it off the list.
Mhm.
At least that way we can shorten up this
Yep.
page a little bit. And we'll put it back on when it becomes an issue again if we want to look into it.
Yep.
So all right, number 90, Dawn, you can retire that item.
Okay,
Next one. Number 98, Mitchell Woods, PFAS and power supply. I think we confirmed this, the power supply, month or so ago. When was Keith here last month, right?
Yes. Yes.
Right.
I thought we did too.
And I think we wanted to proceed with single phase power and invert that power for
Did he
confirm the horsepower?
I don't think he
I
did.
don't think he
I
did.
think that's what we left off in the last meeting. We confirmed they can do it. We did not confirm that it matches the
Maximum
horsepower.
Horsepower, yeah.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, because Keith wasn't there and he said, you have to check with Keith.
So the question would be on that one, if you can follow up with Underwood, so we can try to retire this thing.
Well, maybe we want to edit that 98 to be clear on that. Confirm single phase amperage sufficient for, for required horsepower.
Right. So say, keep the PFAS status and, I don't know why we lump these together, probably should split them. But, so Dawn, if you want to keep number 98, just make it read, follow up on Mitchell Woods PFAS status and power conversion, horsepower, well pump supply or something like that.
Well, power supply with single phase sufficient for required motor horsepower.
Yeah. Did you get that at all?
We're good.
Thank you.
Should go back and watch.
Number 9, update hydraulic model from Underwood to include unaccounted for water. We had that for July. I didn't know that they were doing anything further on this. We discussed this recently with them.
I don't know that we got to it.
Did we go over this? I thought we actually had Keith in here and talked about this last month.
I don't recall getting a clear answer on what was why the discrepancy. We were looking to figure out.
I'm not sure what we're looking for on number 99. Unaccounted for water to be somehow related.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of 102.
Yeah.
I'm on 102. Unaccounted for water.
The hydraulic model related to unaccounted for water. I don't remember how those are related.
Was there numbers off on like different ends of the measurements? Just picturing like
It was a graph.
a graph, yeah.
Yeah, that, it looked like we were producing a lot more water than we were accounting for in the purchase. But that's what they were looking into, if all the unaccounted for water was being used in the model. You ever got an answer? Not that I can share.
But, August, do you want to clarify what it is we're looking for there?
Well, we'd have to go back to the meeting minutes, to the meeting recording to be sure. It's a good thing we have the date added, 11/18/2024.
Yeah. Before we move on, number 98, wouldn't we want to change that to next month?
Yeah, it would be good to put onto that. Yeah, good call.
Not to mention that. If you can catch that, Don, number 98 also changed that month to August.
I've got that. And if you like, I can look through the meeting minutes from November and send you guys a quick email on what that conversation was about for 99.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, it would.
Thank you.
All right, so moving on, update commissioners, number 101, update commissioners on implementation of financial accounting software. I think Kristen hit that one already. Do we want to move that off to next month? Is that a monthly thing at this point, or?
Yeah, because we're making progress.
Yeah. All right, why don't you make that last column on number 101 to say monthly? And then Underwood to clarify perceived inconsistencies of the hydraulic model maps.
Oh.
Number 102 is what I'm talking about now.
Yes. That's what I remember.
That's where there was some,
It was the age of the water
Yeah.
in the lines. and the age of the water was younger in between two older ages, even though there was no influent connection.
Yeah.
Can you pull those minutes too?
That one, I remember that.
Yeah,
There was yellow inside of red.
correct.
Yeah.
So somehow there was water that was
See.
supposed to be younger
Water
than
was being
surrounding
poured.
areas, but there was no way to get younger water to that area.
Fresher.
So,
Maybe that's where the missing water came from.
you mean,
Jill, yeah, Jill, I can pull those minutes as well and send you guys just excerpts from those minutes about those two different lines.
no, that one or two, we're pretty clear what that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Underwood should be too. But I mean, they're welcome to go back to the meeting minutes and to recordings, but we shouldn't have to ask you to do that.
November meeting as well, right?
Yeah, actually, I can pull those and read them.
It's easy enough, not a problem.
Do you think we'll hear possibly anything from Underwood by next month, or we want to put that off to an
Yeah, I think we should.
August?
Yeah, I mean,
It's knocked off.
It's just looking at the map and explaining what's going on and.
the credibility of the hydraulic model isn't there until we have answer for that.
Yeah, right.
Frankly, no
right.
offense, but I mean, if there's data that screaming that it doesn't seem to be valid, then
Yeah, I mean, that's the question is how do you get younger water in the middle of older water?
I
right.
think he explained it, that he might have had, depends on what you have, switches for on,
Yeah.
in the model, if you have different things on, you could get,
So is that maybe model representing like a bunch of different conditions?
yeah, depending on what you have on in the model. Could have
So
had
I
that.
can understand that if that's the case. He
That's
should,
what he had said during the presentation.
all right, maybe he can explain that again, because.
I think he was gonna confirm that,
All right,
if I remember
okay.
serving right.
But these are, no offense, I love Keith and they're a great bunch of guys, but this is like the third month we're asking for the same explanation, right? And when I mention that we don't seem to get the same responsiveness, right? Those are examples, right? And I know it's nitpicking because it's an individual item and it's a small thing, but we're sitting here as a board with 5 people, 2 paid staff members, over and over talking about the same things, and this stuff should go faster. It really should.
These items should be able to be taken off this list.
Within a month.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. And,
We
and
get
that's
our
that's the
answer.
criticism I have to them. It's just inefficient to do this over and over again. Every month we're sitting here, and the longer it goes, the longer it takes us to remember what
Yeah,
was
it
this
does,
about,
yeah.
right? It's just inefficient, and I would love to not have that.
So let's keep this for August, put it on August, and then we won't forget to be confused about it next month either. All right.
But it might require, offense staff to reach out to them next week, right? To remind them, hey, in
Yeah,
3
yeah.
weeks from now, we need to have an answer on that done, right?
Yeah.
So. Not that you're not doing it, but.
Right. All right, what do we have here now? So action items are completed. You have any other questions on any of those action items? I think we're good, right? So old business, if anybody has old business.
Oh, I see you're looking at that. Just call, I don't know if it goes old or new, but call attention to that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
That's illegal right now, and actually, I received a response about that. It's illegal, so that'll.
what's the legal,
Oh, like it'll be sent out.
Yeah.
Okay.
oh, like in the press?
Which one?
Oh, no.
No.
What are you talking about?
No.
Conservation Law Foundation.
What do you do?
They're testing the validity.
Yeah, this has already been posted publicly.
Yeah, the
so-
award. Actually, I had a comment on here is maybe, does it make sense for us to ever send a letter of thank you into any of these awards or anything like that? Or I don't know about an award. Maybe I'm thinking more like grants or something like that. I don't know that we do that.
Well, DES approached us and said, do you mind if we nominate you? So we could only have a whole nomination from that we did.
But
We
I
have
mean,
contacts with them or anything with their DES, so.
maybe that's more of a reason to thank them for thinking of us, to nominate us, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. That was Brandon Kern in there with you in that picture I see.
Yeah, so excellence in innovative financing, so nice job.
I end up seeing him on Zoom meetings on New England Water Works Committee, so I'll mention something to him next time I see him to thank him for, calling us in on that one. And make sure he understands that. So, yeah, I'm good with that.
It was actually Mike Ember from DES that nominated us.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
Don has a
Yeah.
question if you're.
Yep.
Other Don.
Oh,
hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Don. I didn't see you again.
That's okay. I just have to stand corrected. I went and I looked at the Attorney General's most recent memorandum on the right to know law. And when it talks about recording each member's vote in a non-public session, and it refers to that RSA, it specifically says this may be accomplished through using roll call votes, but it's not required, provided the minutes are clear how each member voted.
Yep.
So the example
Alright,
you
good.
gave of identifying who abstained or who voted in opposition is sufficient.
Good. Sounds like that's the case. Appreciate that. All right. Good to know. So new business. I don't know if anybody has any specific new business.
So looking at the PFAS monitoring,
Hmm.
want to make sure I confirm that. So was 2 and 9, right? Do I see that right? That the lag vessel,
Already broken through.
yeah, but not just PFBA and PFHXA, but also PFOA has broken through.
Is there a page number on there?
It's the very first page of
Oh, it is. All right.
whatever that is. MVD well 2.9 in vessel PFAS monitoring A vessels 1 and 2. If I see it right, then in vessel 1, which was the lag vessel, we knew about PFBA and PFHXA for a while, right? And we're a little bit casual on those because they're short chains and their current advisory levels are in the hundreds, right? But if I see it right, PFOA broke through starting January.
I don't think so.
Well, that's why I'm asking, because I was not aware
I
of
get the
that.
reports from the sampling, the WTP water treatment plant samples. And I don't think there's ever been any PFOA coming.
Well, that's why I'm a little concerned, because I wasn't aware of that either.
These are very difficult to read now. I think that we're switching back and forth, reading lag vessels.
Well, I mean, I'm in the PFOA line, and I'm looking at 1.04 on 1/16/2025 on vessel 1, which is labeled as the lag vessel. And then 0.855 in February, and then 0.16 in March. I mean, I think we're still plenty under the
I think
MCL, but
this is lag and that's lead. This is lag here.
Yeah.
And then it goes to lag
oh,
again.
okay.
I think you're on the wrong,
But
yeah.
okay,
Because
okay.
then it would go forward and the lag would become.
So whatever's to the right of that
Yeah.
column is the
I
lag
think that's
here
right.
and back here, because this,
That's the
but
lead.
why does it say lag then here?
Because then when they change out again, the lead will become,
Oh.
it'll just keep going it just keeps going that way.
Yeah, well, but that's an assumption. It could also be the other way around. Everything to
Because
the
all
left
the-
of that is
Yeah, but
lag.
the dates all move this way, so they have lag because after the change out, then that's now a lag.
Yeah.
It's an assumption though, but yeah. Okay. I mean, it goes with the water reports, but
No,
okay.
what I'm saying is I can confirm that by memory because I'm on the mailing list that every new PFAS sampling round that you collect gets posted out. into that group who signed up to receive these, and I look at those every time. And you look at the raw water, and absolutely, we got all kinds of PFAS, but then the WTP, and people confuse this all the time. There's a guy on the forum that confused that. He posted, "Oh, you guys were drinking this water."
To be fair,
and it wasn't the right thing he was looking at.
to be fair, that was the next thing. So okay, so we're good
Yeah.
here. Okay, so we're good here. I'm okay with
Okay.
that. But the other thing is the lab reports that we received from, what's the company name?
Granite State Analytical.
Thank you. They say, for example, MVD 2, but they don't specify raw water or not raw water. So it's a little bit confusing. That screenshot that the user shared with me, it just said MVD 2. Now, looking at the data, it was clear there was not finished water because the PFOA was in the 20s. And there's no way we have it in the 20s in finished water. We know that much.
But there's a report that's.
It's just a report that, and I can share that with you. It's a screenshot that he sent to me. That is the Granite State Analytics.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
MVD 2, the next one will say MVD 9, the one after that says TP 2/9.
Right, so maybe,
You want me to add the word raw to each of them?
I think that would be super, that would be probably a smart idea, yeah.
Just take the.
Yeah. It's just okay, so we have control over that labeling, yeah. I think it would be very good to label that, whether or not it's raw water or finished water.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say, if you're labeling the raw
Yeah.
water, can you?
Let's do that.
Can, the TP sample, can you have that print out to say treated? You get raw, then you get treated.
Thank you,
I think that'll help a lot of confusion.
Yeah,
If
for
there was
sure.
Somebody that was
absolutely.
claiming we're drinking,
And
uncompliant.
And in his
water.
defense, it was totally understandable because
Yeah.
it said MVD 2. There was no delineation. Even now, there's no delineation that this was for untreated water. Looking at this right now, I wouldn't know. I only know it because I know we used to be at 20 and around 20 for PFOA, and that's where we at right now. And
This,
that's
this
what the
comes
result
up
was.
periodically. I would
It
say
does.
probably every quarter, at least
Yeah.
someone asks, like, which ones am I looking at? Which
Right.
ones are treated? So I think,
Have people call in, don't I explain it to them?
yeah,
Yeah,
Got the report together.
yeah.
so that would be helpful.
I didn't know you could add that on the,
Just right off the chain of
Sample
custody.
line,
So
yeah.
our sample ID as opposed to
Mhm.
the state has the personal card.
oh, all right, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Once it goes to the state.
States have a specific code, right? That's a specific name you have to use and whatnot.
153-1010_509.
No one's gonna know what that is,
So
yeah,
for the parentheses of the chain of custody, so it goes
exactly.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
To know. Actually, going back to, the whole concept of, the lead lag vessels and all that stuff, I was looking at this and, I'm wondering we have a procedure of changing out the lead vessel after, it's been in use 8 months, but not sooner. If there's no breakthrough, we wouldn't change it, but there's always breakthrough. But I think we have in our budget that every 6 months.
Right.
Do we
Depending on
wanna-
how the year falls, sometimes we do it twice, sometimes we would do it once, so we always budget.
Do we want to formalize that in the procedure to make it 6 months?
We're waiting for data, because we didn't have a whole lot of data at the time. I feel like we're solid on that.
I didn't know if that made any. I mean, if it's in the budget, I'm wondering. Do we formalize it in the procedure?
I would ask a little bit further than that. So if I look at this document right now, right?
Yeah.
Well, 7 and 8, the lag vessel has been in service for 5 months and has 100%, at the 100% port has PFBA breakthrough, 5 months into it. And I
Right.
think say here, data first detection, here it goes, 1/16/2025. Wait, so the last line is data first detection and effort. Assuming that, okay, right?
Yeah, because the one above it says compounds and effluent, it's PFBA.
So that means January 16th, we had the first time PFBA breakthrough, right? On the lag vessel.
Yeah.
The lag vessel at the time. And it was put in service 3 days before, right? So this is one of those things that we keep talking about.
Yeah, it's already.
We
breaking.
allow the lag vessel to be saturated. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, we allow the
Vessels saturated and then
the lead
almost
vessel,
black too.
right? The
Yeah.
lead vessel gets saturated first with PFPA, right? But we wait until either our 8 months are over, or we wait until breakthrough is projected at the 100% port of one of the other compounds. But by that time, we allowed so much PFPA to leach through the lead vessel that the lag vessel is already starting to be loaded up with PFPA, which then in return shortens the lifetime
When it changes.
of
to
the lag vessel when it changes into the lead vessel,
Yeah.
right? And it's almost a compounding effect possibly, right? Because now it breaks through even sooner and contaminates the lag vessel even sooner. So we're getting to the point, if we are looking at PFPA, that we almost have to replace both medias every so often in between to start over fresh, so we don't oversaturate the lag vessel from the first day on. So in that regard, I think, yes, we do need to look at the policy.
And I'm thinking that is probably less expensive if we switch it to 6 months as opposed to changing out both vessels at once. I think you'd be throwing away useful media for other PFAS compounds.
Shouldn't we rather have a threshold by which threshold for PFBA in the lag vessel effluent that determines when or when we not replace both media?
The thing is though, if like this would happen immediately here.
Well, not if we have a threshold that we determine. Maybe it's not zero, right?
Oh, a
Maybe
threshold. All right. All right.
I mean, the argument of the EPA is that PFBA and many of the short chains have a much higher tolerance level, or the body has a much higher tolerance level, and they get fleshed out. Whether or not that's true, I don't want to debate because that's not for us to debate. But there's no MCL, no enforceable maximum contaminant level. There's only health advisories, and they are significantly higher than any of the traditional PFOA and PFBA and whatnot, right? So should we pull a number out of our sleeve and say, unless we're getting to that level, we're okay with that, or?
Sounds like it's an agenda item.
Yeah, that's why I'm just bringing it up, is if we want to.
Right. And I'm not even sure if we want to go down that route, because if somebody turns around later on and says this was not healthy, then we're in trouble, right? So I'm not even.
I think fiscally, we could flip a switch tomorrow and go to 6 months easily. I think if we put other things in place where we're going to be changing out more than every 6 months, then we need to
I wouldn't like that.
figure out what it is so we can budget for it.
Yeah. The whole reason, I mean, it was my idea to come up with the 8 months, and it was all based on, because it's predictable, budgeted, we can predict that. And if it's in the budget for 6 months, that you would ask the question, well, if it's in the budget for 6 months, why aren't you implementing it in 6 months? Because now we're padding the reserve, you know what I mean?
No, it wasn't. It was just that the 8 month change outs, you couldn't make fiscally in a financial year that's 12 months long. It didn't work. So you had to, you might change all of them.
Well, you'd have to do the
Twice.
math, and one
Right.
year would be more money, the next year would be less money, which is complicated. I agree.
Right.
I agree. 6 months is a little easier because it's.
I have no problem making that motion. I mean, I'm more happy with 6 months than I am with 8 months, because I have a concern with what's happening with BFP.
So let's ask Ron, because he's the guy that has to schedule all of this stuff. How much more of a burden on the staff? And
I don't think it would be any more of a burden. It actually goes fairly. It's not that difficult.
yeah, it's a process that's better known and followed. Now you guys know what's going on. And
Same day compared to what it used to
They've
be.
got it down packed. Yeah, I don't think it's and quicker. Yeah, I think it'd be fine.
I think it would help the concern you're talking about, so we don't
100%.
let the lag get saturated as long.
Yep. I'll make a motion right now. We can stop the discussion on my end.
I don't know, can we change a procedure or we need it on a,
It's actually just it's a policy, so really,
well, it's a procedure,
Yeah, it's
not a
procedure.
policy.
It's an operational decision.
Procedure.
It's an operational decision.
I remember we
we did it that way.
we had a policy and then we said this is more of a procedure
So
for some reason, I don't know.
Just kind of change
Make a
that.
motion to change it right now and then have staff bring us any revised documentation at the next meeting.
Yeah,
We're covering both. We can have it revised for the next meeting.
all right, if we got authority to do that, I'm okay with
We,
that.
we
I feel
can,
like we do until somebody tells us we don't.
no, we can make operational decisions and we can spend the budget. The budget has been approved
That's
and we're within
basically
the
all it
budget,
is,
so we're
yeah.
in good shape.
Yeah, I guess
There's
you're right.
nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah. Is there any reservation on your end about doing that at all? So that's why I'm asking, because you guys are the ones stuck dealing
No,
with
no,
it.
no, no. I was actually, we've been talking about it with 7 and 8 regardless because of the breakthrough that we're having over there, that I was actually thinking about doing the change out and maybe possibly asking, do you think we should do a change out? I thought we were doing
More
within like 3 months, maybe get back on, get it done fairly quick, within like 3 months, get it back on track, have 2 fresh filters, and see what that does for us as far as, maybe we
Delays the breakthrough or something.
delays the breakthrough a
Yeah.
little bit and maybe, either the 8-month or the 6-month change out, we've kind of stopped that,
The oversaturation
that
thing.
saturation kind of.
Yeah, so just to maybe move this along, I don't know if we need a motion or not, but if we do, because I'd like to just have you come back next month with a proposal
We can
and
definitely have an agenda.
see what the
item
numbers
or
look
something.
like,
Yeah,
and then we can just do whatever then. That's my thought.
Okay,
Make an amendment to or make a change to the procedure and we can vote on it next meeting and call it there.
And if you looked at it, because we go fiscal year, if you were to change, we're changing out vessels at 7 and 8 in a month. And even if you did it 3 months or 4 months later, you're already enough into the fiscal year that 6 months from that would just about almost be the next fiscal year.
Yeah, I
So you
don't-
would still only have 2 change outs
I don't think you'd ever have more than 2 changes.
in that year.
Yeah.
So even if he wanted to do one after 3 months kind of thing for 7 and 8, just to get it back again, we would still, I think, be in the clear for 2 change outs for 7 and 8 for that year.
I see what you mean.
I mean, to be clear, we're looking at low single digits.
Absolutely.
PFBA.
Yeah,
And the health advisory, which is not even enforceable, is in the hundreds, I think, for the PFBA, right?
I think it's like 1,000
Or
or
even
something.
1,000, right? So we're still better than pretty much
Oh,
anywhere else in the
absolutely.
world, right?
Absolutely.
But the mandate was pretty clear. People don't want to have any. Right?
Right, so from a policy perspective of the board, we want to just make sure that we're doing whatever this change out is efficiently and eliminating that, like I said, oversaturation. So you can do a policy from that perspective.
Yeah.
That'll be the policy of the district.
Yeah,
They handle the procedure.
yeah.
All right, we can do that.
So bring the document to us.
Cool.
The next meeting and we'll take it up there. Yeah.
Thanks for bringing it up because that's really been burning in my.
Yeah. I just, I've been looking at that for a while.
I think we all have.
The one other thing I wanted to ask this, we have that watershed assistance grant for the salt reduction. And I think at the time, I recall that being like first of its kind type of thing, a watershed based salt mitigation plan in the DES's eyes, I guess. There was a post by Representative Nancy Murphy about some EPA funding that's being pulled back on some watershed assistance grants. And I was just wondering, you didn't hear anything about this specific one, hopefully, that you're aware of?
I talked to Steve Landry and that his whole department can be wiped out. But
Wow.
the funds are already out there and committed. He's just not going to get a budget. If he doesn't get a budget for the next year, his whole department's gone.
Oh, my goodness. Because I'm looking at these numbers that you put in the back of the packet for tracking Emery and Garrett's. And there's still, 3/4 of that grant budget still remaining, so that would be, unfortunate, but I just, make sure you keep your ears open and,
We're all set with what's been committed. It's just going
hopefully.
forward.
All right. Is that what Steve kind of believes is the case?
Yes.
All right, good. Okay. That's all I had. So I don't know if anybody else has any other new business.
Really quick, there's been, again, quite a bit of chatter. I mean, it's always when it gets hot, right, about chlorine smell, chlorine taste. And I try to explain it to people, if you taste chlorine, that means the chlorine is doing its thing, meaning sanitizing the water, right? Which obviously on a hot day, you have more bacterial growth. So that makes sense, but I'm assuming you had no complaints coming in. Did you?
What I'm aware of.
I mean, I encourage people left and right, don't get up here, bring it to MVD. If they don't, then please people, tell MVD, not me, not Facebook, right?
We track them, so.
You track them, you track where, you track when, who, we got GIS to see if they're
Like the last 4
in the
weeks.
same area.
Not this month, did we get any complaints? Not one. Okay. Then.
So putting it on Facebook doesn't help
No, it doesn't.
investigate
So
the problem.
But it makes
There's a
people
problem.
feel better and they get lots of comments of other people that are like, oh yeah,
I will
I think
tell you
that's
though-
horrible too. And it just, the trolls. have
I
a
will,
great time.
I will tell you though, people are picking up because more and more other
Yeah.
people that are not in the sport are now,
Yes, tagging
repeating.
you.
well, tagging me.
It's not him
but
and I.
they're sharing the story, so that's good.
Right.
They're sharing the facts, so that's good.
Yeah, so the standard response should just be call MVD, here's the number.
Right.
And we're required to chlorinate. It's not like
Yes.
we can just say, all right, we're gonna vote not to. I
That would
think, I
be
remember
disgusting.
Yeah.
anything
Let's just
over,
be like, you can't not chlorinate
yeah,
water.
It's E. coli, but
it's anything, it's either 3,300 or 10,000 customers or users. You're required to chlorinate. The smaller systems like I work on, you don't have to. But when you're over a certain threshold, and we're well over 10,000 served, or 3,300, whichever it is,
They're not required until they get a bacteria hit. I think they are after that.
Right.
Right?
if it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
And E. coli is not, and remember, E. coli is just a marker bacteria that says, hey, I have friends. There's a lot worse things that you don't want in your water.
Well, it's total coliform bacteria.
Yeah, you just don't.
Right, that you take total coliform, and if you have it.
Yeah, well, they're just marker bacterias to say, hey, we're having a party.
Yeah.
And just because
It's not going right.
the PR department was asked again, you're looking at it.
is that a new?
We don't fluorinate our water, right?
We do not.
That's I know I asked that before, but I wanted to put it back on record.
But I will. What's interesting is when I first moved to Merrimack, that was a
Fluorinate.
question that I had.
Right.
And we do have well water, so our water does have naturally occurring fluoride
Ah,
in it as a mineral, whether it
point.
makes it all the way to your house in any measurable quantity or is filtered out in the other processes. But well water does have naturally occurring
Right.
fluoride in it.
And there's a secondary standard on that as well as a primary standard too,
Right.
so,
now you're flexing.
yeah. All right, so I think the next thing, everybody good with new business, we'll move on to see if there's any questions from press and public.
Who's going to be at the meeting on Wednesday? Just you guys, or is the board needed?
Yeah. Well, look at all the data.
Oh, that's true.
Since you are the PR guy, you might want to talk
No,
to the
no.
residents of those streets.
I don't want them hanging out there by themselves, so I might
I
come
might
anyway.
go too,
It was myself from, I guess, Jill, I believe Brian is gonna be there, Keith,
Brian is not.
Brian is not gonna be there.
No, Keith is.
Keith is going too,
Amy
Yeah,
Russo
Keith will be there.
is.
He's the engineer of record.
from Underwood?
Yep.
To the SALT meeting with the.
No,
No, no.
this
Oh, I'm sorry. All right.
pre-construction neighborhood meeting.
I'm talking about the school board meeting. Yeah,
It's August.
Okay, never mind.
John.
Amy Russo's gonna be there. Josh Textera, Katie Pelletier, Terry Damaris.
Wow.
And once again, that's 6:30 at Town Hall, right? Thank
For the
you.
construction meeting.
On the 23rd. Right,
Yes.
right. Yeah, yep.
Contractor will be there.
I might go just to learn,
Yeah, exactly.
so that we can answer questions on Facebook.
That's right.
It's a new,
Unpaid.
I gotta earn that $100 somehow.
new commissioner position,
What's that?
new commissioner position. So you've got the chair, the vice chair, the personnel liaison and PR.
Oh, you mean,
Yeah, right?
like a director? Yeah. Yeah, I should get paid for that.
We have no press and public over there. Can't read, it's kind of fuzzy.
No, there's nobody there.
Okay. So other than that, then we're not going to adjourn because we are going to go into non-public session under RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2, A in parentheses, personnel. The next meeting is August 18th. And I think at this point, if someone wants to make that motion to go into non-public, as I just read,
So moved.
motion by Scott, second by
Second?
Dan. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that's 500, no oppositions or abstentions, and this concludes our regular session of the meeting. Thanks, Merrimack.